wrestling fans, promoter Tony Falk here, and I want to welcome you to another edition of CyberSlam Wrestling. Right here today, people, you're going to see a great show. I'm telling you, we got this thing that happened between Chris Michaels and Brian Casey. But today, you will be seeing a match between Chris Michaels and Brian Casey, and it will be for the USWO title. Also, what happened just a few weeks ago up in Illinois at the Gathering, Raven and Josephus got into some altercation. I cannot believe that I got a phone call from Raven wanting to come to the USWO and ATL, and you will be seeing that match later on. So fans, I'm gonna quit talking. We're gonna go right down to ringside and jump in some wrestling action.
Hello wrestling fans, and welcome to another edition of CyberSlam Wrestling here on cyberslam.net. Jason James coming at you from ringside. As you see, making his way to the ring, the ATL heavyweight champion, being led by his manager Gordon. That man is Brian Casey, and tonight it's all up for grabs for Brian Casey as he goes one-on-one with this man, the USWO heavyweight champion Chris Michaels, the headliner, and the USWO championship is on the line here on CyberSlam Wrestling. This is everything that Casey has been wanting. He's been wanting to make a name for himself, and he's been able to quasi-do that with a ATL title run, but capturing the USWO championship would add that much more prestige to the career of Brian Casey, as he vows he is going to do that tonight against the headliner. But Chris Michaels is no easy opponent. Defeating the headliner, no easy task at hand for Brian Casey. Obviously, folks, this contest coming off of that tournament matchup these two were in several weeks ago, which saw Gordon coming out to the ring in a referee's official shirt and counting the three on Chris Michaels, and boy, he was not happy at that decision, and not happy at the decision that Tony Falk let that decision stand. Chris Michaels out of the tournament, as Brian Casey is still in the CyberSlam Championship Tournament for the CyberSlam title and that 2011 Dodge Challenger, courtesy of Brewster's Auto Sales. Brian Casey says he is perfection at its best. Obviously, one man's opinion here in Nashville. Also on the broadcast today, folks, we have, making his CyberSlam debut, Raven. Raven is in the house. I have word that he is here at the Stadium Inn in Nashville. He squares off with Josephus. Those tensions brewing from an altercation at the Gathering of the Juggalos several weeks ago. We do not know what happened between those two, but Raven sent word to promoter Tony Falk that he was coming, and he was coming for Josephus. He said, book it or don't book it, but it's going to be better off for you if you do. You sanction the contest. As we see Chris Michaels getting some words of advice from the fans here in Nashville. This contest is for the USWO Heavyweight Championship. A championship that Chris Michaels has held on numerous occasions. Brian Casey has never held. The USWO title, he looks to do that tonight. At the Stadium Inn, he looks to become the first-time USWO champion. But he's going to have to go through the headliner to do that. Side headlock applied by Chris Michaels. Chris Michaels is what I like to call a textbook wrestler. He's the technician skills on this man are like that of no other. As you see, locking in the figure four. Early going of this match, Brian Casey very quickly and anxiously getting to the ropes there to break that maneuver. That figure four leg lock already putting the pressure on Brian Casey. Not happy that Michaels was able to lock it in that quick, and Gordon, I'm not really sure what Gordon's objective here is. I think he just patted Brian Casey on the rear end. But it's the ATL. Casey taking his time to return to the ring here to face Michaels. Michaels once again with the leg sweep, gonna go for it again. Thought he was gonna go for that figure four, but maybe having second thoughts. Casey with nowhere to go. He is at the mercy right now of Chris Michaels. And Michaels drops the elbow on the leg, that left leg and knee of Brian Casey. You see right there, going to work on that left leg. Brian Casey is in incredible shape. Chris Michaels as well. These two true athletes here in the ring. This is going to be an exciting contest. As you see, Michaels once again going to work on that leg, going for the early submission as he locks in the sharpshooter. Brian Casey once again begging off away from Chris Michaels, the reigning and defending USWO champion. Casey now gonna have a little meeting of the minds with Gordon, his manager at ringside. That's I use that term manager very lightly when I speak of Gordon. This man can't seem to manage his own personal life, let alone the career of an athlete. Collar and elbow tie-up from Chris Michaels. Brian Casey, championship on the line here on CyberSlam Wrestling. And Casey thought we would see the clean break, but no. Shot to the midsection, follows it in. Michaels reverses, Casey goes in, and Michaels gonna return the favor now as a couple shots to the side of the face of Brian Casey. Michaels on the offensive, sends him in, but Casey reverses now. Michaels goes in, catches the boot, but Casey saw it coming in right there with that maneuver, that backbreaker maneuver, and might have caught the neck, back of the head as well of Chris Michaels. Lays in the choke, blatant choke, right in front of the referee. Unbelievable antics from Brian Casey. Last week on the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, we saw the debut here on CyberSlam Wrestling of the King, Shane Williams. Williams, as he had a post-match assault on LT Funk, delivered that devastating pile driver and basically told promoter Tony Falk that the only way he was going to kill the Nashville wrestling, that he hated the wrestling here at the stadium in the CyberSlam Wrestling, was to end the career of his son LT, and he tried to do that last week with that pile driver. Next week, I'm being told, they've signed the contest. Shane Williams will be in action on the broadcast, one-on-one with LT Falk. Irish whip now. Michaels goes for the backdrop. Casey telegraphed it. Pin attempt. Only a 2 count from referee Jesse Fields.
USWO and ATL present Championship Wrestling every Friday night at the Stadium in downtown Nashville. Bell time 8 o'clock, doors open at 6:30. The Stadium Inn is located at the corner of James Robertson Parkway and Interstate Drive across from LP Field. I-24, exit 48. The best pro wrestling action in the Music City. Tickets only $8 and $10. For more information, call the USWO hotline at 615-664-1669.
Brian Casey is getting frustrated. You can see the frustration starting to build as he pummels those fists in the head of Chris Michaels. He doesn't know what he's got to do to put this man away. He doesn't realize he's one-on-one with the the USWO champion. Right now, he is the best that there is to offer in the USWO. That's why he's the champion, and that's why, for reasons like that, just when you think you've got him where you want him, he's going to surprise you. That flying clothesline out of nowhere caught Casey off guard, and that could be the opportunity that Michaels needs to turn the tide in this contest. We've seen it many times. Michaels, don't count him out till you hit the 3 count. You cannot sell the headliner Chris Michaels short. As soon as you do, you're going to be disappointed every time as Michaels fights back on Casey. Duck of the wild fist and a side slam. Pin attempt, 2, 3, no. Only a 2 count. But what a close 2 as Michaels has somewhat changed the tide in this matchup. Michaels, I believe, calling for that patented super kick. Gonna get that leg warmed up to Brian Casey. Shoots him in, Casey reverses. No, Michaels not gonna have it. Another Irish whip. Michaels goes in, catches the boot from Casey, and a DDT sends him headfirst into the canvas. 1, 2, this is no, only a 2 count. My God, Chris Michaels, after being driven headfirst into that canvas with that DDT impressively from Casey, able to kick out, and Gordon does not believe this. Gordon is beside himself. Brian Casey continues to have the upper hand on Chris Michaels. Wasn't able to do it after that DDT. Gonna try another method here is Brian Casey. He's got to stay on top of Chris Michaels if he wants a chance at becoming USWO champion for the first time here on CyberSlam Wrestling. Sidewalk slam by Casey. Only a 2. You're going to need more than that to put him away. Casey looks like he's getting winded here at just trying to defeat Chris Michaels. He's got to have a pinfall or submission victory. A DQ will not do him any good. And wait a minute, Gordon goes to pull the foot of Michaels, but mistakenly grabbed Brian Casey instead. And you see the fit. Bill Shields does not like that whatsoever. Gordon pulls in, super kick now from Chris Michaels. This has got to do it in a 3 count. Michaels victorious over Brian Casey, still your USWO heavyweight champion. And Gordon has lost it. Due to the interference from Gordon, Brian Casey was defeated by the headliner Chris Michaels. And I bet you right there, that's going to cause DeShields to dock his pay envelope as we take a replay. Look here, Gordon pulls the foot thinking he had Chris Michaels. He thought he had him. Boy, Bill DeShields is not happy with what he saw there. As we see Brian Casey turning around right in the super kick from Chris Michaels, enough to do it. Puts him away, still your USWO heavyweight champion. The headliner, Chris Michaels. Gordon and Brian Casey better go back to the drawing boards if they expect another shot at the USWO heavyweight champion. Yes, Brian Casey is not happy. And wait a minute! A super kick from Michaels to Gordon. And the crowd at the Stadium Inn goes wild. That's what they were waiting for all night. And Chris Michaels is on fire. He is your USWO champion. Folks, when we return to CyberSlam, it's Raven, it's Josephus, it's coming up next.
USWO and ATL present Championship Wrestling every Friday night at the Stadium Inn, downtown Nashville. Bell time 8 o'clock, doors open at 6:30. The Stadium Inn is located at the corner of James Robertson Parkway and Interstate Drive across from LP Field. I-24, exit 48. The best pro wrestling action in the Music City. Tickets only $8 and $10. For more information, call the USWO hotline at 615-664-1669.
Hey Larry, check out the shoes down here. Custom made Nikes, $190. Check out these custom fit jeans. Even the holes are there on purpose, $227. Look at this nice t-shirt. Any other place you'd have to spend $5-10 with your little EBT card, but this is $177, Billionaires Boys Club out of Hollywood, California. Look at this nice chain. Any other place at the flea market? Nah. This is some serious money right here, 18 karat gold. Look at this piece right here. Look at the black diamonds, but look at this right here. It all pales in comparison, even to the watch, even to the magic boots. This thing's got a Hemi. Sweet. 20-inch rims, 6.1 liter engine, over $66,000, and this beautiful 2011 Dodge Challenger is coming to the Black Diamond cliffhanger. I am going to win the entire USWO CyberSlam tournament, so I don't care who I have to go through, if it's LT, Little Time Falk, if it's the Boogie Woogie Girl, I don't care if I have to go through the headliner, Christina Michaels, or Chase Get Chased Stevens. It doesn't matter because I'm the Black Diamond. I'm going all the way to the top of the USWO CyberSlam tournament, and these magic slippers right here are going to get me there. So even though we've got ourselves a beautiful car, we've got ourselves custom-made clothing, this can be replaced, this can be replaced, this can be replaced, but not this. But let's be honest, folks, I'm the Black Diamond cliffhanger, and diamonds are this guy's best friends. Man, look at this beautiful car. Oh my goodness, I can't even keep.
Tired of getting around like this? Then come to Brewster's Touch of Class Auto Sales. Located at 621 Old Hickory Boulevard E. 500 down, home of 0% $50 weekly payments. That's Brewster's Touch of Class Auto Sales. Call them today at 612-7635.
The powers to be, namely Bill DeShields, is taking up for his little boy, Nick Iggy. See, Nick Iggy, like a little school child, went and ran and run his mouth. Now, I've got Bill telling me that the voices in my head aren't real, and that if I cost Nick Iggy any more matches, I'm fired. Do you know how hard it is to find a job nowadays? But I promise you this, Nick, I'll find a way through this. I'm strong, and I will get back to you one way or another. You can bet on that.
Back here on CyberSlam Wrestling as we await the arrival of Josephus as he squares off one-on-one with Raven. And you got to believe Josephus is kind of curious as to, obviously he knows what kind of altercation these two had at the gathering of the Juggalos several weeks ago that caused for this contest. Raven is here, Raven is in Nashville. And Raven is moments away from debuting for CyberSlam Wrestling. What kind of mood is Raven going to be in? What does he have in store for Josephus? And there he is. From the Bowery comes Raven, making his way to the ring for CyberSlam Wrestling. Nothing pretty about this man, same old Raven. The one you either know, you either love him or you hate him, but he's Raven no matter what. This man has been in every major wrestling organization there has ever been. Be it WWF, WCW, ECW, TNA. A national, international name overseas is Raven. Japan as well, very huge.
And his opponent here to my left,
as he battles this up-and-coming Josephus. And Josephus is no small man. Got to give this guy credit. The crowd here in Nashville happy to see Raven. Happy to see Raven in CyberSlam here for the USWO and ATL Wrestling. We want to remind you folks that next week right here on CyberSlam Wrestling, you will see the King Shane Williams square off one-on-one with LT Falk. That matchup already in the books for next week on CyberSlam. In just 2 short weeks, Cassidy Riley returns to Nashville to do battle with former hotshot partner, the Natural Chase Stevens. All of that and more coming up in the coming weeks. Plus, the semifinals of the CyberSlam Championship Tournament to resume in just 3 weeks' time. We will crown a CyberSlam champion, as well as give away that brand new 2011 Dodge Challenger, courtesy of Brewster's Auto Sales. Someone will go home with a brand new title and a brand new car. Josephus maybe thinks he's getting the better hand of Raven here. Again, powers Raven back to the buckle. Goes for the punch, but nobody home. And Raven counters with one of his own. Stays on top of Josephus. Quick jabs into the jaw. It doesn't take Josephus long to realize he needs to get it out of the corner, away from Raven. Raven's not going to break cleanly at the referee's discretion just because he asked him nicely to. I can guarantee you that.
That's so Raven. Oh my
God. Raven now with that chain. And Josephus wants no part. That's got to be a 15-foot chain that Raven has right now. Belongs to Josephus. Josephus taking his time to get back in the ring. And now he grabs the chain. A lot of mind games going on between these two here already. Josephus and Raven. If you're going to play mind games with someone who I wouldn't want to do that with is Raven, because this man is the king of mind games. He can get inside your head like no one I've ever seen before. Josephus thrown to the outside, Raven quick to follow. Action is spilled to the concrete floor here at the Stadium Inn. Josephus meets the steel turnbuckle pole. Raven just scratching the back rake onto Josephus, sends him into the second pole. Quote the Raven nevermore. Josephus has never heard a truer statement in his life. Right now, as he is at the mercy of Raven here in Nashville. Oh, but nobody home, and Raven punched that pole. Raven just punched that steel pole, nobody home. And that could have done some devastating, damaging effects to the fist of Raven. That hand could be broken after he punched that steel turnbuckle pole. Josephus in the ring quick enough to break the count. This is not a no disqualification contest. This is not falls count anywhere. This matchup is in jeopardy of being thrown out here if these two don't return to the ring soon. Referee Jesse Fields is trying to be lenient. He knows the crowd doesn't want to see this contest ended in a count out. He's trying to give these two the benefit of the doubt, trying to coerce them into returning to the ring, and finally, Raven Josephus back in the ring. And a low blow from Josephus. And my goodness, if the referee had been wearing glasses, I believe he could have seen that low blow right there to Raven that, my goodness, as blatant as could be. And Josephus now choking the life out of Raven. Once more goes back down. Josephus grabs that chain, wraps it around the throat of Raven. Now this is not legal whatsoever. Jesse Fields gonna, like I said, trying to be lenient in this contest, gonna let it slide, but calls for no more. And once again, Josephus with the choke, using that chain, and I gotta give credit to Jesse Fields here. He's trying to keep from disqualifying Josephus here. He doesn't want a disqualification here, as I'm sure the fans here in Nashville don't either.
I will come for you in your sleep.
Pin attempt, but only a 1. Raven kicks out, gets a 2 that time. Third time's a charm, but no, Josephus not going to attempt a pinfall again. Raven is he's at the discretion of Josephus right now, as you see just the relentless assault. Raven fights back now. That Sabat-like kick to the face catches him with another one. That one enough to send Josephus down. Enough to give Raven a little bit of a breather here, as I'm sure most of the oxygen's been squeezed out of his body by that steel chain that's wrapped around his throat still at this point. First thing he's got to do is get that away from his neck, open up those airways, and now Raven a low blow with his own. And the rulebook has just been tossed out of this contest. These two neither one care. And Raven now, the second one sends him down. Raven with the chain. And now gonna whip Josephus, using that chain as a whipping tool onto Josephus. Raven doesn't care about the rules at this point. All he cares about is inflicting pain on the body of Josephus, and that's exactly what he intends to do right now. That's exactly what he is doing. And now shoves the referee, and finally that's going to be enough to do it. Referee calls for the disqualification. He tried as diligently as he could to let this contest continue, but you can't put your hands on an official.
Wrestling fans, the referee has disqualified Raven.
There you hear the decision. Raven disqualified, Josephus victorious. Unbelievable, folks. That's going to do it for us here at CyberSlam. Don't forget, next week, the King, Shane Williams, one-on-one with LT Folk right here in the middle of the ring in Nashville. It's CyberSlam Wrestling. It's wrestling the way it was meant to be. Make sure you tune in next week. As they used to say, be there!